What is good, guys? Welcome back to the midweek review. And of course, I'm being joined with Leo. What's good, Leo?
What is good? I can't wait for this week to be over because we're on a high time frame consolidation, guys. Um, but with that being said, finishing up Wednesday here, we have Thursday and Friday's trading left for the week. These are our heavy hitter news events with most importantly, unemployment claims, the PCE price index for dollar, as well as some orange folders, Chicago PMI, G20 meetings, a FOMC member speaking, and some Euro news on Thursday. And on Friday, we have some more Euro news, as well as ISM manufacturing PMI and consumer sentiment numbers um, to end off the week there. So, um, given that we had a pretty tight uh, price range this week on almost everything, I'm expecting that we see some expansion off of these red folder news events here on Thursday, Friday. Yeah, with that being said, so far the week has been not great, not good. Today's price action wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It was tradable. And I'm just kind of waiting for February to be over and March to kind of um, give us more volatility in terms of price action. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I think the red folders and the orange folders for this week might give us enough volatility to end off this month. Yeah, like Leo said already, a lot of news coming in. So it will be, in my opinion, looking for a little bit of manipulation. Like Leo said already as well, it is in a higher time for consolidation. A majority of my price targets have already been hit. I want to usually get my trading done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before these crazy news events on Thursday, Friday. And this week was just like that. Right. I did send out a lot of levels for you guys, or a lot of price levels on the Discord. If you guys were able to capitalize on that, great. Right. If not, it's okay. Just observe, back test, and then see maybe why I sent those levels out. But yeah, let's get started with dollar index. So with the dollar index on the daily time frame, like Leo and I, we expected price to kind of use this candle here to expand higher. I saw this as the manipulation lower. We noted a lot of buy side liquidity here, as you can see, a lot of buy side being stacked here, which allowed this big, massive run to absorb that. And there's the idea of saying, hey, this might run lower to run the stops. That could be true, right? I know there's buy stops here, so they did run a lot of them out. And I want to see them maybe manipulate lower, at least to running out the previous day's low. And if they do, maybe trade down into this upper 50 of the wick of this bullish order block. That's kind of what I want to see them do. However, I was also noting that the fact that they could technically run this low here. It wouldn't be to my surprise, a lot of sell stops being stuck there. So if they do want to run that with the news, they could. However, I do prefer them not to do that. I would want them to kind of just have a quick stop run into this low here, and then run out into maybe below the bodies of this, and then maybe have a nice response running higher, trading above their own high here, above that 50. If they are able to get above the 50, I'm looking for the buy side here. That's scenario one. I have another scenario that I also kind of can see happening where they do run its own low here, very short, like very quick draw run into that, trade higher into this 50, and then expand lower again as a second manipulation to run out all the sell stops, and then start rallying aggressively higher. Since the market are like it's very, very tight, as you can see, the bodies are very, very small, right? Compared to like these big bodies runs. I am expecting these big manipulations to happen. This one right here was a full body down, and then it came right back up, right? So things like that doesn't really scream to me saying, hey, put a little bit more leverage or jump in the market. Like I said already, I'm already done for this week. I'm just going to be observing. All right, I'll let you guys know what I'm looking at, what levels that I think can be tagged for tomorrow or Friday. But if I don't say anything out, then it's probably just because I don't think there's anything that's really high probability. But yeah, this is on the daily chart, what I'm able to kind of give to you guys. I'm gonna go down to the lower time frame. So dollar index on a lower time frame. This is the low. I know this is kind of weird saying, hey, wait, daily low is here. Yes, yes. This is off the daily time frame, that low. So like I said, this is why I said if they want to, they can run this really quickly first. So they're running previous day's low from the daily time frame and then run higher aggressively, trading up into buy stops. And then if they do, excuse me, if they do run up into this consequent encroachment of the higher time frame, I'm looking for them to either run lower again to run their own low they created here, and then leaving this low alone. Like I said, I prefer that to happen, but if they want to run this, they could. But yeah, so first manipulation lower, they have the inducement higher, and then into short-term premium running lower, taking out their own low, trading near this low here, but obviously not taking it out, and then really expand higher. That's something I think they could do to trap both sides of the market and then kind of stop run on both of them. Not saying that will happen, but that's just something that I can see happening. Like I said, just be very, very careful when you're trading tomorrow and Friday. A lot of news events, and it's near the end of the month, or tomorrow is the end of the month. And so this week's gonna kind of wrap it up, and then obviously next week of NFP. So yay, more news events. Um, but yeah, that should be it for Dixie. Do you have anything you want to add for dollar index, Leo?
Uh, sure. When I looked at dollar, I wanted it to kind of stay here. Um, where's my mouse here?
Okay.
So I'm looking at this series of down candles here. It's the hourly, but if you condense it to a higher time frame, I'm seeing the series of down candles. I want price to kind of stay in this area here and take off, but this could get hit, but ideally I want it to stay and then run up. Um, yeah, that's me for dollar.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's move on to Euro USD. So EU, I we called out EU, or I called out EU for earlier this week, saying the lows here I want to be taken out, and this low here, as you can see, it got taken out. This was the short-term target that I named out for you guys, or like called out for you guys. And then the reason why I said these lows here was because it's Friday's low. So these are Friday's lows here, and this is what I was looking for. And then obviously ran it out, ran Thursday's low, leaving Wednesday low here, which is very, very suspicious, as I would say. But we saw this nice run deeper into these lows here, and we have this nice expansion away from this area here. And as of right now, I want to kind of say the same thing, right? I want to see the stop run and then potentially maybe go lower for the sell side liquidity down here. As the same for why I said Dixie, I prefer to go higher. But there's still buy side here from earlier this week. If they want to run that, they could, but I don't think they should. But with the amount of news they have, which is, how ICT calls ammunition, I can see them easily run above and taking these highs out very aggressively and then trading lower. Um, or just start, run out buy side here and then just start rolling over and then be very choppy until news events release and then very explosively expand. They do have a lot of news events coming up, so I am very careful with this. But let's move on from EU. We have GU. So GU, the highs are a lot more, how would I say? I don't want to use the word tasty, but they're more attractive, I would say. They kind of draw my attention to them a little bit more compared to EU,
The right
right? And
word is
so
the right word is clean highs.
clean highs, no, no, no. Clean highs overrated. Um, but yeah, GU, I'm looking for GU to run aggressively higher into this high here. But with how clean these highs look, we can have them potentially run into it and then potentially do something, right? They did draw a lot lower already. They left a lot of highs and a lot of lows, my bad, a lot of lows intact here. I just want to see what they want to do. It's at an area where theoretically speaking, it could just expand higher and continue running out the highs here, right? This is a good enough retracement for them. If they want to continue pushing price higher, then we just see this as SMT with EU, right? But as of right now, I want to see Dixie go higher, so I'm looking for GU EU to go lower. But that should be it for now. And if anything changes, I'll update you guys on Discord. But like I said already, I'm not gonna be trading tomorrow and Thursday, I mean, and Friday. I'm just gonna be observing. I will let you guys know if I see anything that I think is high probability for you guys. But yeah, that should wrap up my Dixie EU and GU. Did you have anything you want to add for EU GU, Leo?
Yeah, so I see the buy side for both. For pound, I might expect some run on buy side. But euro, I kind of want it to stay heavy. I'm picturing a scenario where they they either punch it up a little bit, they leave this intact, and they just roll over. Like you see some kind of punch into it. The near this buy side doesn't quite make it, and then we start staying heavy and moving into sell side. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Whereas pound, I would, if I was going to short this thing, I'd look for it to purge some buy side and then enter on that. Like say
Mm,
like right here, you see this, see here's the three down candles, maybe like punch it into here and then take it away on news.
mm,
But we do have Euro news, so this thing could get a bit more animated. But to me, Euro looks more smooth and looks like it's ready to stay heavy and run for sell side off of this because they left this intact. Looking at the bodies too, barely take out the
mm.
bodies.
Yep, yep.
I just wanted to stay heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
yeah,
have.
yeah. Perfect, perfect. Yeah.
All right, crude oil on the daily chart. As you guys can see, we're still stuck in a range here. Today on Wednesday's trading, we did get a tag of this high here. We traded a couple cents higher, to a couple ticks higher than this high here. And then we promptly retraced back into the range, giving us a bearish close. So overnight here, currently, crude oil is kind of ticking upward a little bit. Um, I would say this is a little too clean here. This high, this high, this high. We did just take out these highs here inside the range, but I do like how the candle retraced really quickly. So it grabbed liquidity and then retraced for a down close. I'm expecting this thing to stay heavy, but given that there is news, I would not be surprised if they just punched it higher, um, going for like the 80 level into the rest of this imbalance here between this low and this high here. That would be a target for me if they do run it up or the open of this up candle here. As for crude oil, we're really range bound. I can't really call when it's gonna expand. Honestly, my best bet is this high impact news coming on Thursday, Friday, but it's not gonna stay like this forever. And hopefully we get a little bit more animated, and that the market does tip its hand in a little bit more obvious fashion, because I I can see both sides of the marketplace at the moment. So I'm not really gonna push it too much here. This is one of those times as a trader I kind of just have to be patient and wait for something that I can really see. Just doing my best, but on the higher time frame, I do still see this narrative in play. If they do punch it up, I would want them to keep it heavy. Let's say they take this liquidity, keep it heavy, and then start seeing sponsorship lower on the daily chart into March, April, and then the spring months. So um, yeah, this is the daily chart. Moving into the hourly chart, forgot to mess around with that. It's all right. At least we got the date right. This is the hourly chart. You see that we punched into 79.55 here, promptly retraced, working inside this daily imbalance here still. I do like to point out that price did reuse this PD ray to push higher. And then I'm watching to see what price does overnight here, as well as the dollar. So I'm watching for dollar to run to give us and see how crude reacts to that. So if dollar runs higher and we stay um kind of where we are or trade slightly higher on crude oil, I might expect them to run it up on news. But if we see a good correlation between the dollar and crude, like we see it run, we see the dollar run, and then we see crude oil trading lower along with it. That could be a good sign to take out, into here, this imbalance, take out this low, maybe even this low. Um, I'm not gonna go as far as to say SDs right now, but oops, I will be watching the this this little pack of imbalances here to see how they use it into Thursday's AM and PM session. So um, I am a little bit more leaning towards this low here because they did tag these relative equal highs, but there's no saying that they can't just run it up one more time into 80. So did you have anything to add, Alan?
No, not really. I did want to see crude oil short lower, but I definitely did not seem to want to be on the same page. So, that after that expansion higher, massive drop, which is very, very ideal. I do think they could run their low once more, trade a little deeper, and then punch higher, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not great on the higher time frame where you look at all this up and back and forth here. So just waiting for some sponsorship. So nothing else on crude. All right, ES on the daily. Uh, this uh, this is a little complicated in my opinion. I can get down into it on the hourly, but I do want to see 5049 get taken. Um, we'll see about this range here, the lower end of the inefficiency, depending on how ICE trades Thursday and Friday. But there are a couple of things I want to mention in this range before we do tag 5049. Um, very likely not very likely, but there's a chance we could rally off of this. But that would that would just be great for index fund holders. I don't know what to say. So yeah, let's get into the hourly chart here. So you see that we've been consolidating, like we said, earlier into the week and the over the weekend recap that we had this big range. We're going to consolidate, and I was looking for this level here. We haven't tagged it yet, but after today, I would like to see an overnight run on indexes. So kind of take this out, this high here, and then stay heavy, respect this series of candles, and I'm watching this one as well. Um, my ideal scenario for me to see a trade would be a run into this buy side, and then for the bodies to kind of stop around the here in the middle of uh this range here, and then possibly we get really animated, we wick into this, and then just reject into 5049. So that'd be my preference. And that would be an ongoing study into the end of the week for me. That's my scenario that I want to see unfold. And then should price get more animated, we could see trading down here, but it depends if they stop here. If they run it up and then they take out this high, and then subsequently they keep rolling it over up here, we could see um, around this 5140, maybe even. you'd have to do a projection for that, but I think a good 20 handle run above that high would be pretty modest if they do take it out. So that's just me on ES.
Yeah, sounds good. I also have similar um I guess analysis on ES with NQ. So before we go to NQ, I just want to cover ES really quick. I do believe that they could have a run lower into somewhat this level like you labeled out here, and then a really aggressive punch higher. It just depends on what they want to take out first. Do they want to take out buy side and then run lower and then run really aggressive towards these highs? Or do they want to just run buy side and then continuously want to tank? Right. So that's kind of the big question, the elephant in the room at the moment. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But let's move on to NASDAQ. So for NAS, I know this price action here isn't the most attractive, but if you go into lower time frame, you guys should be able to see something you guys like. Um, I think it's a very, very good understanding of why, when you take lower time frames, you have to be very, very nimble, right? We see that if you're trying to take longs and shorts, it can come right back against you. Hence why a lot of traders on Twitter said today was a bad trading day for them. But I feel like if you just go on lower time frame, be nimble, it should be not too bad. Obviously not the greatest, but it shouldn't be too bad. But as of right now, price ran lower to close off the day. Running into such liquidity, I did have an old low here labeled out that you guys should be able to note on your chart from the weekly outlook. Price did run into that, which is very, very nice. And now I want to see what they want to do. They ran into that, started trading aggressively higher. They filled in this inefficiency here or this imbalance here, and which makes me wonder if they do want to come back and use it. They could, right? They filled that, and then they're working towards buy side liquidity currently. I still have my eye on this low here. I do think if they really want to, they can run into this low again and then punch higher. So very similar. Depends on what they want to do. Do they want to run higher first and then run lower and then punch higher for all these highs here? Or do they want to just have a very, very bearish, rest of the week where it just runs buy side and then starts punching lower? But if they do prefer to run lower, I do kind of want to see a little bit more than just this buy side get taken. Kind of be looking at these highs here, maybe this one if it gets really, really animated. But I feel like if it runs above these highs, they could just run the bodies of this and then maybe just reject off of that. But like I said, forecasting is all fun and games, but at the end of the day, we kind of have to wait and just observe what's going on. But yeah, that should be it for NASDAQ. Did you have anything you want to add for NAS, Leo?
No, no, I don't.
Okay.
Nas is really, really hard to read.
Yes, yes. But yeah, that should be it then. We'll see you guys on the end of the week review. And like I said already, if you guys have any questions or concerns or want us to look at something, you guys can drop into the Discord. The Discord is completely free. It's in the description below. But yeah, hope you guys be safe, right? Don't over leverage, don't push too hard since it is the end of the week and it's gonna be the end of the month. So just be aware of that. And if you guys are already profitable for this month, maybe just take the next 2 days off and just kind of relax, reset for the new week.
Yeah. Taking a break is always good. Sometimes you don't know it, but you could be overworking yourself and then your edge kind of erodes a little bit. So it's good to keep yourself in check. We're at the end of the month, so um hopefully you guys are on track with your performance indicators. And if you're not, you know what to do. But if you are, great. Take a break.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you guys on our next video. Peace.
Take care.